The Paralympic sport that I chose is canoeing. Paracanoe is a young sport that was developed in the start of the century. Equipment used for paracanoe are the two main boats, which are kayaks and bow boats, and they are both propelled by double blade paddles. There are three different classifications for paracanoe. The first classification group is where the athletes can only propel themselves with their arms. They can only propel the boat with their arms. The second classification group is where the athletes can propel the boat with both their arms and their trunk. And then the third classification group is when the athlete has full function of their arms, trunk, and they have partial function of their legs. So rules and scoring of paracanoe. There's a minimum of 3 boats per federation that are allowed in the race. The boats have to stay in their lane throughout the duration of the entire race. The race starts on a horn blow, and the race finishes when the last boat completely crosses the finish line. So they have general heats, and then semifinals, and then finals. There are 2 heats of general qualifications. The top 2 in general qualifications automatically make it into the A final. And then there are 2 heats of semifinals, which are split up by times from the general heats. And then there are 2 final heats. The B final are 4 racers who have the slowest time. And then the A final are the top 8 racers overall by time. And then there are medals for first, second, third place, and they are scored by the fastest time. The Paralympic canoeer I chose is Luis Carlos Cardoso da Silva. He is a 38-year-old on Brazil's national team. Before his Paralympic days, he was a professional dancer and was very high up in that sport. But unfortunately, he contracted an infection to his bone marrow that caused paralysis in both legs. He then took up both wheelchair basketball and paracanoeing, but then eventually just stuck with paracanoeing. And he is one of Brazil's most decorated athletes in para sports, para games. In the 2016 Paralympics, he finished 4th in the men's KL1. And in the 2017 World Championships, he won gold in the men's VL1 event. And then in the Tokyo Paralympics, he won silver in the men's KL1. So I chose this sport because I had never heard of paracanoe, and it seemed really interesting to me to learn about. I chose the athlete I chose because he was one of the medalists in the most recent Paralympic Games, and he's also very decorated in the sport. I've learned a lot about paracanoe and its competitiveness, and a way that I can use this, like for my future, I can promote more Paralympic support throughout my job, and I can inform some of my patients about parasports and get them more involved in Paralympic sports. No more references. Thank you.